Hi everyone, the purpose of this video is to briefly go over what an isotope is, but mainly how to calculate the average atomic mass for an element. So really fast, just reviewing the properties of the periodic table. Your atomic number is the whole number above the element. That is equal to the number of protons. And if you have a neutral atom, it also equals the number of electrons. If you have an ion, it would not equal the number of electrons. And then this bottom number, this is what's known as average atomic mass. And we'll get into more of that later. It's also called the atomic mass. And so which number determines an element's identity? That would be the atomic number. The number of protons determines what an element is. If you change protons, it is a different element. You can change neutrons, you can change electrons. As long as it has 6 protons, it's carbon. And so what is an isotope? An isotope is an atom of the same element that have different mass numbers. So same element, that means that they must have same protons, but they have different masses. So the number of neutrons are different. Same protons, different neutrons, which leads to a different mass. For example, here's an isotope, carbon-14. You might see it written in isotope notation like this, so the mass number is 14, and mass number in isotope notation goes up top, atomic number's at the bottom. Because it's carbon, it has 6 protons, and so carbon-14 then has how many neutrons? Because if you remember, mass is protons plus neutrons. So this carbon, because it has 6 protons and its mass is 14, it must have 8 neutrons. Carbon actually has 3 isotopes. There's carbon-12, carbon-13, and carbon-14. And what's different is the number of neutrons. They're all carbon, so they all have 6 protons, but they have different masses, so they have different neutrons. And then remember, electrons don't play into mass because they are so small. Now, that was just a quick review of what an isotope is. We're going to get into, in the bulk of this video, is how to calculate average atomic mass. So, average atomic mass is a weighted average. What's the difference between a weighted and a normal average? So a normal average is where you just add up all the numbers and you divide it by how many are being averaged. A weighted average, which is what average atomic mass is, it's like school. Your major grades are, let's say, 60%. So your tests weigh more than your quizzes, which weigh more than your homework. Not every number has the same value in a weighted average. And so when I look at, and here's carbon. So this shows the 3 isotopes of carbon. Carbon-12 is 98.9% of all carbon atoms on Earth are carbon-12. 1% are carbon-13, and then less than 1% are carbon-14. So that means if you had a sample of 100 carbon atoms, 99 of them would be carbon-12, 1 would be carbon-13, and you probably wouldn't even have a carbon-14. So, and every element has isotopes, just about every element, and they all occur in different abundances or different amounts. So this might be the percentages for carbon, but it's not going to be the same percentages for nitrogen, etc. And so average atomic mass is that atomic mass that we see on the periodic table, and it is a weighted average of all of the isotopes of an element. So here we have lithium down here. Lithium has 2 main isotopes, lithium-6 and lithium-7. The mass of lithium-6 is 6.02 and it's 7% abundant. The mass of lithium-7 is 7.02 and it's 92% abundant. So if you had a sample of lithium, 93% of those lithium atoms are going to be lithium-7. And then 7 or 8 of them would be lithium-6. And so what average atomic mass is it's a weighted average of all of these isotopes. When you look at the periodic table, the average atomic mass for lithium is 6.941. It's not 6.5, it's 6.9 because most lithium is lithium-7. A little bit is lithium-6, but most is lithium-7. So it's not correct to say that the average mass of it would be 6.5 because that's not true. Because if you have a sample of lithium, most is lithium-7. So our average mass is a weighted average of all of your isotopes. And the average mass is always going to be closest to the isotope that's most abundant or most common. So here's our formula for how to calculate average atomic mass. It equals the mass of an isotope times its percent abundance plus the mass of the next isotope times its percent abundance. And ... means this could go on and on and on for however many isotopes there are. And so you want to definitely write this formula down. We're going to use it. Now, when you solve for average atomic mass in that formula, this percent abundance right here, we're not going to use the percent. So let's say something was 99%. It's a percent. So you don't multiply it by 99. You have to change your percent to decimal form before you plug it into that equation. And to do that, you just divide it by 100. So if something an isotope was 99% abundant, I would multiply it by 0.99, not by 99. Okay, and we're going to get started with our first example. So silicon has 3 naturally occurring isotopes with the masses and abundances given in the table. What's the average atomic mass of silicon? Well, it's got 3 isotopes. I've got each of their masses and their abundance. So looking at this really fast, silicon-28 is the most abundant. It's 92%. So if you have a sample of silicon, 92% of it is silicon-28. So when I calculate my average atomic mass, the average atomic mass should be closest to silicon-28 because it's the most common one. It's not going to be this number exactly, but it will be closest to this number than to the other numbers. And so our formula was average mass equals mass of the isotope times its percent plus mass times its percent, etc., etc. And so we're going to, let's change these before we plug them in. We're going to change those to decimal form. So to go from percent to decimal, you divide by 100. So this is going to become 0.9221. 4% becomes 0.0470. And 3.09% becomes 0.0309. And that doesn't look like a 3, sorry. There we go. Now that we've changed our percents, we can plug them into our equation. So average mass equals, I'm going to take the mass of my first isotope, 27.98 times its percent. So times 0.9221 plus mass of my next isotope, 28.98 times its percent, which is times 0.0470, and then plus the mass of my next isotope, 29.97 times its percent, 0.0309. Give you a second, plug that into the calculator, and you should get 28.088. And the unit for average atomic mass is AMU. Or you might see just U. Now, with significant figures really fast, if we go back, these percents have 3 significant figures. That has 4. So we're going to go ahead and whenever we looking at these really fast, whenever we multiply, we would get 4 sig figs, and then you add together, and when you add, you go by decimal places. And so I think with all of them, the smallest one, you'd end up with 2 decimal places. So this needs to be rounded to 28.09 AMU would be the correct and final answer. Okay. So again, what we did was we took the mass of each of our isotope and we multiplied it by its percent abundance. And then we added them all together. We got the average atomic mass of silicone is 28.09. And when I look back at my percents, that makes sense because most silicone is 28. So the average mass should be closest to the most abundant isotope. Okay, here is our next problem. So the average atomic mass, of potassium is 39.09. So this time I gave you the average mass. There are 3 isotopes. Potassium 39 has a mass of this and a percent abundance of that. Potassium 40 has a mass of this and a percent abundance of that. Ooh, that's not a common one. And then potassium 41 has a percent abundance of this. So what is the mass of potassium 41? Okay, thinking about my equation, it's average atomic mass equals mass times isotope, or times percent, plus mass times percent. So I know my average atomic mass, 39.09 equals mass of my first isotope, which is potassium 39. It has a mass of 38.96 times, and it's 93% abundant, so 0.9326 plus mass of the next isotope, potassium 40. That has a mass of, and I'm just going to write that down here, 39.96 times, now this is a percent. Make sure you divide that by 100, and when you do, it's 0.00, how many zeros is that? That's 3 zeros after the decimal. 117. And then plus, now potassium 41, I want to find the mass of that. So we don't know what that is. We can give that a variable. You can call it X, but we have multiplication symbols right here. So let's just call it Y so we don't get confused. So Y, our mass that we're looking for, times, and I know it's percent, 6%, so that's 0.0672. So this is really just an algebraic problem. We're trying to solve for Y. And to solve for Y, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this first and add it with this. So let's multiply those and add them together. Okay, 39.09 equals, when I multiplied those, this 38 times the 0.9, I get 36.33. Plus, I'm going to multiply my 39 and this number, and that should be really small, and it is. Plus 0.0467532. And then plus, I can't do anything with that, so plus Y times 0.0672. Okay, now let's go ahead and we're going to combine these, and I'm going to have to move to the next slide so I have room. So 39.09, and I added those two values together, equals 36.33467753 plus Y times 0.0672. Trying to solve for Y, so we need to isolate Y, get Y by itself. And to do that, I'm going to have to subtract this 36 number from both sides. Again, this is just Algebra 1. Yada yada. So subtract that big old 36 number from both sides, and we get 2.755324777 equals Y times 0.0672. And now I'm trying to solve for Y, which is my mass of potassium 41. It's multiplied by this number, and so you have to do the opposite. So we're going to divide each side by 0.0672. That 6 looks funny. And I get that Y equals 41.6.